Sweetie baby honey darling, it is not the industry's job to make your business a success. Southern sarcasm aside, let's talk about it. All too often we see people coming into this industry and then a few months later leaving, declaring the ball python business is dead, which leads to this rumor that no one is making money in ball pythons. But I think it's time that we start being real with ourselves. If you come into the industry, buy 15 male spiders and 3 single gene pastel females and can't make any money, whose fault is that but your own? Caring about your animals is baseline in this hobby. That is bare minimum. But in order to make this successful as a business, you also have to care about your business, which means making smart financial decisions and having an actual set business plan to move forward with. When we come into this industry and we see people on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram that are making $1 million a year in ball pythons, it seems like it's the easiest thing in the world, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Like any other industry out there, the ball python industry takes work to be successful as a business. If someone opened up a restaurant in the bad side of town, served really, really bad food that was cockroach infested, and then a year later their restaurant closed, we wouldn't say the restaurant industry was failing. We'd say they failed as a restaurant owner. But for some reason, when people come into the ball python industry and don't make it, we look at it as the industry as a whole, rather than simply looking at their individual business. If you think that someone's going to come into this, hold your hand and make everything in your business successful without you doing any of the work, then your business is doomed to fail. I'm not one of the people that thinks you can't make money in ball pythons. In fact, I really believe that you can make this a legitimate business. But to be a legitimate business, you have to have a legitimate business plan. It's important to understand your business and what you're trying to accomplish. Are you trying to produce pet quality animals, breeder quality, or maybe both? And in order to do that, do you have the animals in place to produce those animals? If what you can afford right now is $300 animals, it is unlikely that you're going to be producing $15,000 animals in a year. It's going to take a long time to build up to that. And so, are you able to ride that out? Are you able to do the work along the way? And if not, what's your plan? What's your plan with those animals? Are you appealing to breeders? Are you appealing to pet owners? What is the personality of your brand? Sometimes I think that when people come in, we tell them that the first step is to get a couple of animals, which usually like get 1 really good male and get 3 good females that will go with that male, right? Which is a good starting point. However, I would almost challenge us to look even deeper at it and say, first step is doing the research to figure out what you really need. Figure out what kind of infrastructure you need, what kind of funding you're gonna need, what caging or what your incubator is going to look like, how are you going to feed these animals, and then start looking at different morphs and deciding what projects you really want to get invested in. Rather than jumping straight to the pretty animals that you see on the market, figure out what your business is actually going to be. If you take an extra couple of months to a year researching that and really building out that plan, I think you're going to see a lot more success in the long run. Another thing that I think we really overlook in this hobby is the value of having a mentor or even a few mentors that you're leaning on. People that will actually be real with you. And I get that that's hard when you're first starting out and maybe you don't even know anyone, but having someone that will actually say, no, that's a horrible purchase, don't put that into your breeding program, can make or break a business. I've had one too many people reach out to me saying, hey, I just bought 27 or 50 new animals. What should I breed? What should I do with them? And I'm looking at them like, I don't know, where'd you get all these animals from? Oh, it was someone's collection that they were dumping because they weren't successful in the hobby, so I thought I'd bring them in and make myself successful. And I look at them and I'm like, there's nothing in this collection that pairs together. How much money did you spend? How are you gonna feed all these animals? What was the plan? Just because you get a good deal on the animals doesn't mean it's a good deal for you, because those 27 or 50 animals are gonna cost you a lot of money to feed, and then if you do decide to breed them, and can't move the babies, then you also have those babies to feed and care for and house. And that money adds up over time. And so what I see happening when people come in like that with no plan at all, that in a year or two, they're all over the internet saying the ball python industry is dead, there's no money to be made, it's just a big ripoff, it's a scam, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, if they went back to the very beginning, they set their business up to fail. This is not a race. Take your time, do the research, sit down and really think about the decisions that you're making, because you want to be able to look back in 2 years and go, wow, I'm so glad I brought that snake into my collection and grew it up, because now the babies that I'm producing are so much better, are actually moving. I'm finding great homes for them. I feel like this has been a success so far. If the only plan you have for your business is to buy a couple of snakes, throw them together, see what comes out, and then post a couple pictures up on the internet every once in a while, that's not marketing. That's not a marketing plan. People who are selling their animals are investing their time, their energy, their money into marketing those animals, into making sure they reach the right audience. And I think that anyone can do this. This isn't limited to someone with a ton of money. If you have a phone, you can start marketing your animals. And in my opinion, it's really smart to start your marketing well before you produce your first clutch. Think about a year before you start getting on the internet, you post pictures of the animals you already own. Maybe you do some lives, you get to know people, so people know you actually have these animals, so that they get excited about what you're producing in the future. If you're looking to start out with pet level animals and you're selling them online, people frequently choose their breeder before they're choosing the animal. Frequently you hear, if you produce good animals, the animals will sell themselves. And sure, if you're working with the world's first, that animal's gonna sell itself once you post pictures of it online. But if you're working with, say, bananas and bells, it's up to you to sell them. Keep in mind that everyone in the industry is working on running their own business. So it's not gonna be their job to run your business for you. That's up to you. And I don't believe it takes any kind of special training. Any amount of money can make you a good business owner, a good business manager. I think it's the commitment that you put into it. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not easy money. This is a business. And if you want to be in business, prepare to run it like one. Speaking of smart business decisions, one of the things that we do to stay relevant and build our collection stronger is we shed test all of our animals. This helps us to know exactly what is in them and helps us decide for future pairings. We use Rare Genetics Incorporated for all of our shed testing needs. Make sure to check them out at raregeneticsinc.com and use our code MG15 to get 15% off. Whew, that was a lot of words. I'm Stacy and this is Midgard Morphs. We're currently at, I think, 620 subscribers. Like, what? Thank y'all. We're working towards 650, setting small goals. Tom's laughing at me behind the camera right now. He can't even handle me. But I love y'all. Thanks so much for being here, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!